Welcome to 5 Minutes, your quick dive into the wide-ranging world of insurance, technology, and leadership. I'm Miguel Edwards, and I'll be your guide as we explore these topics that are transforming not just the insurance industry, but the business world at large. Along with sharing observations I've made over the span of my career in insurance, technology, and operations, I'll be chatting with some of the brightest minds in business and leadership. Whether you're a seasoned executive or a rising star, an industry expert, or just curious about how technology is revolutionizing insurance, this is your perfect spot for your weekly dose of insights. This is 5 Minutes. As you start thinking about these new technologies, data and analytics, predictive modeling, Gen AI, all of those different things that all come to the table to enhance the overall risk management or risk selection process. How do you see the evolution basically continuing to shape the DUAE space? And what are some of the things that you think AM Best can play in terms of, what are the roles that they can play in terms of enhancing or rather assessing these technical advancements?
Technology is going to continue to be the catalyst of change in the industry. Mm-hmm. As we look at, AI, machine learning, when you look at, like you said, predictive modeling, I think all of those things will continue to be at the forefront of innovation. Mm-hmm. Obviously, we have to think about the cost that to continue to stay on the forefront of that. Technology develops so quickly every couple of years. So are we going to be making these type of investments every 2 years that cost a lot of money? And then you have to kind of catch up everyone else. So the carriers, we already know that they work based off of their legacy systems. And it's really kind of hard to get that ship moving. Mm-hmm. Smaller DUAEs that use and take advantage of the most modern technology are able to be a little bit more nimble, able to be more flexible in how they use it. So that's something that we have to be mindful of. But I definitely feel that with technology comes the talent to use that technology. Mm-hmm. And so they're going to continue to create new products. They're going to continue to make underwriting processes more efficient. And so I believe that this can only help the industry. In terms of AM Best and how we see our position in the industry, is really to be here to watch the market changes, to watch the technological changes and watch those trends to see how is it affecting the industry? How is it affecting the carriers? Does it affect their stability in on the financial front? Are they able to pay claims? Because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about, right? Mm-hmm. Are you able to pay claims? And any company that comes in to work with insurance carriers, at the end of the day, you have to kind of have that same mindset. We're here to innovate, create new products, and take care of policyholders.
Got it. Yeah. Well, and it's funny, you mentioned policyholders because that's an area that I'd love to focus on here. And so as you start thinking about how these DUAEs become an increasingly important and involved part of that distribution channel, what are some of the dynamics that you think insurers need to be thinking about as they consider where they're placing their business, placing their risks, and then the involvement of DUAEs? What are some things that consumers can be thinking about? I'm sorry, just to elaborate on the question. When I think of as an insured, how do I even know that my business is being placed through a DUAE, and should I care? What counsel would you offer in terms of an insurer in terms of how they think about it?
That's very interesting because the big answer is it depends. Mm-hmm. If you have a more tailored insurance experience where you have a broker, they should be letting you know, right? Where and how they're placing your business. But because the way the industry is moving, where everything is much more collaborative, sometimes you're not going to be able to tell because it kind of bleeds into each other. Mm-hmm. The MGA is writing this paper for the carrier, writing on the paper of the carrier. Sometimes the relationship between the broker and the MGA is going to grow to be where sometimes they may be all in one, an mm-hmm. all-inclusive experience. So as from a policyholder's perspective, I think that policyholders' main concern will always be, if something happens to my home, my car, my assets, whatever it is that I'm trying to insure, will it be covered?
Right.
Will it be taken care of? And as long as the DUAEs and their capacity partners are on the same page in regards to their underwriting guidelines.
Sure.
And making sure that compliance is there when writing business, policyholders don't have anything to worry about.
Right. What I'm hearing kind of takes us back to, one of the other topics we were talking about, where it's really all about making sure that relationship between the carrier and the MGA is one that, or the DUAE, is one where there is a lot of oversight. There's a lot of communication. There's constant analysis, particularly on the carrier side, in terms of how that underwriting authority is being leveraged, et cetera. And as long as we keep that constant, as long as we are diligent in that space, policyholders should be okay. Thank you for joining this episode of 5 Minutes. If you've enjoyed our discussion, we'd love for you to share it with anyone else you think might find it interesting. Also, please subscribe on whatever podcast platform you're listening on and hit that bell to stay on top of the game with our practical 5-minute episodes. We look forward to seeing you again next week.